A crisis frightens you because you perceive it as an extraordinary, chaotic event. But I ask you, look at nature. Chaos is part of the order. The seasons change. Seeds die for plants to be born. The storm precedes the sun. Life is not a straight line of tranquility, but a cycle of highs and lows. Accept a crisis not as an anomaly, but as an expected part of your human experience. Acceptance, in itself, disarms you of the frustration and despair that are born from the illusion of a control you do not possess over what is outside of you. The greatest source of your disturbance, my friends, is not the events themselves, but your judgments about them. The loss of your possessions, for example, is not an evil in itself. It is your opinion that the loss is a disaster that causes you suffering. What can be stolen from you? Your health? Your money? But no one can steal your reason, your virtue, your integrity. Focus on what is yours and inalienable, and your heart will be at peace, for it will perceive that true wealth resides in character, not in transient possessions. Before you panic and give in to fear, question what is happening. Is it really a catastrophic event? An irreparable disaster? Or is it just something inconvenient? A challenge that requires a new approach? Often, our mind inflates the problem with the fuel of fear and a fertile imagination. Separate fact from fantasy. The fact is, I lost my job. The fantasy is, I will never find another one and my life is ruined forever. The fact is a stone. The fantasy is a monster you create with that stone. Your reason will give you the clarity to see the stone for what it is, unadorned. In the midst of a crisis, your most urgent duty is to focus on what you can control. Your will, your actions, your thoughts. These are your sovereign domains. Everything else, the behavior of others, the course of external events, the uncertain future, is beyond your power. Direct your energy and attention to your circle of influence and learn to accept the vast circle of concern with serenity. This simple yet powerful Stoic discipline is the key to freeing yourselves from paralyzing anxiety and living with purpose. The crisis invites you, with urgency, to live in the present, the only time that belongs to you. Your worries about a future not yet manifested, or your regrets about a past that is gone, are just ghosts that haunt you, stealing your vital energy. Your strength resides in this instant, in this breathing moment, in this very breath you inhale. Your only duty is to act virtuously now, in this present moment. For this moment is the only thing you truly possess and over which you have any dominion. Remember that everything that happens for a reason. Not by blind random fate, but as part of the universal nature, which is wise, interconnected, and ordered. The crisis presents you with a unique opportunity to exercise and strengthen your highest virtues: patience in waiting, courage in the face of danger, wisdom in deciding the best path, temperance in not despairing or overreacting. Life is, in its essence, a school of virtue, and crisis often is your greatest and most profound lesson. Your soul, by its nature, is a piece of the divine, a spark of the universal logos. Do not forget your inherent dignity. Do not let yourselves be shaken by the external world, like a dry leaf in the merciless wind. Remember that you have reason, your inner light, which can remain lit and bright, even on the darkest and most turbulent night. The crisis does not define you. Your resilience, your ability to adapt, and your virtue in the face of adversity do. If these words have brought you some calm amidst the turmoil, And if you feel the strength of philosophy guiding you towards a more serene path, I invite you, with the affection of a fellow traveler who also seeks wisdom, to like this video. By liking it, you help spread peace and this stoic perspective to more hearts that need to find their safe harbor. Subscribe to this channel so that wisdom may be your constant compass, and leave a comment about which teaching has touched you the most at this moment in your life. Your participation is the seed of a more serene and reflective world. Now, to continue, you must understand that crisis is not your enemy, but your most demanding teacher. It exposes your weaknesses, the points where your internal defenses are weakest, and gives you a chance to strengthen and rebuild them. When a problem arises, instead of revolting against fate or lamenting your luck, ask, what virtue can I exercise now? How can I become a better person through this challenge? This is the approach of the wise, who see opportunity where the common person sees only ruin. Your death is certain, an unquestionable truth, but your life is fleeting, passing like a breath. Do not waste your precious time on frivolous worries or anxieties about what you cannot change. The crisis reminds you, in a brutal and necessary way, of the fragility of existence and the preciousness of every moment you are granted. Use your time wisely, in virtuous actions, in deep reflection, and in genuine care for your fellow humans. Life is too short to be spent in vain anxiety. Your body, with its instinctive reactions, often deceives you. When you are tense, with your heart racing and your mind agitated, it tells you, in its primal language, that you are in imminent danger. But your reason, your divine and superior part, tells you otherwise. The real danger is not external to you, but the loss of your reason, your voluntary surrender to fear, anger, and despair. Ignite your reason by exercising your correct judgment, and your body will follow, calming itself in response to your will. The crisis is, paradoxically, an opportunity for simplicity. In difficult times, you are forced to let go of what is not essential, what is superfluous and distracts you. Your focus naturally narrows to what truly matters, what is truly vital, your family, your character, your duty fulfilled. The crisis forces a healthy detachment from worldly possessions and expectations. You become lighter, freer, and your mind clearer. Always remember the nature of all things. Everything is transient. The crisis is like a wave in the ocean. It comes, hits the shore forcefully, and then recedes, dissolving into the vastness. The crisis does not last forever. Your pain, however intense it may be, does not last forever. Just like the sea, your spirit has the intrinsic power to absorb the wave, to move with it, and to find calm in its most serene depth, where the turmoil of the surface cannot reach. The wise person does not seek a world without crises or challenges, for they know that this is a chimera, a fantasy. Instead, they seek an unshakable mind, a spirit that remains firm in any circumstance. They train their mind every day in the small crises of daily life, in the small setbacks, the broken pot, the unexpected delay, a harsh word from a stranger. In these small moments, they practice acceptance, control of their reaction, and gratitude for the lessons. The great moment of crisis will only be bearable if your training is daily and constant. Your only duty in any situation is to act with justice, with honesty, and with reason. If you have done so with the best of your intentions and with the wisdom you possess, the external result does not matter. Your peace and your happiness are not based on success or failure, but on your own virtuous conduct. Always act with virtue, and you will not regret the outcome, whatever it may be, for your truest reward is not at the end, but in the virtuous journey itself. Where solitude, often feared, is a friend in times of crisis. Withdraw into your inner self, to the sanctuary of your mind. There, in your impregnable mental citadel, the external crisis cannot touch you. Reflect on the Stoic principles that guide you. Question your deepest fears, exposing them to the light of reason. Remember your smallness before the vastness of the cosmos, but also your immense greatness for having the spark of divine reason. The crisis, however painful it may be, gives you the unique opportunity to be an example to others. Your calm, your serenity, your virtuous and dignified behavior in the midst of adversity can be a light, a beacon of hope and strength for those around you who are lost in despair. Do not forget that you are an intrinsic piece of humanity, and your individual strength, your resilience, strengthens the whole, elevating the collective spirit. Do not revolt against what is inevitable. Anger, rebellion, self-pity are poisons that we drink in the vain hope that the other will die, or that the situation will change on its own. The crisis does not care about your anger. It will continue its course, unperturbed. But anger poisons your soul, blinds you to solutions, and robs you of the clarity necessary to act with wisdom and effectiveness. Accept what cannot be changed and act on what can. The universe gives you only what you can bear. Your current crisis, however heavy and unbearable it may seem, is in fact proportional to your intrinsic ability to overcome it. Trust in your own inner strength, for it has already been tested and proven in all the previous crises you have overcome. Your resilience is not an accidental gift. It is a muscle that grows and strengthens with continuous use, with each challenge overcome. Death is the great equalizer, the ultimate truth that levels us all. The crisis reminds you, in a vivid way, of your mortality and the brevity of your earthly existence, and what really matters in the face of imminent mortality. Not your material wealth or your worldly power, but your virtue and the quality of your soul. Live each day as if it were your last, with integrity and purpose, and the crisis will seem small to you in the face of the vastness of eternity. And finally, my friends, remember the nature of time. This crisis, however long and arduous, will pass. Everything that has a beginning has an end. And when it passes, what will remain? Your character, your soul, purified and strengthened, your memory of how you acted in the midst of adversity. Make what remains worthy of a free person, a wise person, a stoic, who faced life with courage and serenity. Therefore, may your life not be a balloon at the mercy of the crisis, carried wherever the wind pushes it, but an unshakable fortress, built on the rock of your reason and your character. And may your inner peace be so deep and unshakable that the external crisis dissolves before it, as the most violent waves gently dissolve on the sand of the beach, leaving no lasting traces on your spirit.